So Once Upon a Time has been cancelled, which is such a bummer because just last month, Channing Dunning released a statement saying that she's cautiously optimistic that Once Upon a Time will get a season 8. Clearly, she changed her mind after what she heard in the writer's room because whatever Adam Horowitz and Eddie Kitsis said to her clearly didn't jive well, and she just was like, nope, we're done. My optimism has turned to pessimism. Good luck finishing season 7. Now, in terms of what Adam Horowitz and Eddie Kitsis are going to be doing with their careers, I imagine they're going to be getting a job on the Disney streaming service in 2019, probably get hired late this year to work on a show, because that service is supposed to debut at some point in 2019. And they've worked for Disney for years. They worked on Lost, they worked on Once. So, Disney likes to keep talent in-house. In fact, it's what they're known for. It's amazing. And I very much feel that Adam Horowitz and Eddie Kitsis are going to just kind of move away from ABC and onto the streaming service. However, it's quite possible that the streaming service could be having its production done through ABC. I have a feeling that Disney might dissolve ABC because they got rid of Scandal this year, which is a bummer, and now they're getting rid of Once. So getting rid of two shows I really like. In fact, there's only one show on ABC that I will still be watching after this TV year is done, which is How to Get Away with Murder. And that also hasn't got its confirmation for season 5. So Once is done, and I'm really bummed out because, as I said just last month, Channing Dunning, made that, we're probably going to get it. And then Adam Horowitz and Eddie Kitsis have been hyping this show up for 6 more seasons, essentially, saying they have plans with these characters and different versions of these characters. Like, I was thinking they're going to do different versions of Maleficent, the Snow Queen, etc., etc. I didn't really vocalize it in the videos because, in my head, I'm still, concerned with just the logistics of the way the show is being run. And, I also like to focus on the individual episodes. But, at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, what, if the show keeps going, they can keep doing these alternate versions, and some of them I'm going to like, and some of them I'm going to dislike. I mean, many of you know I dislike alternate versions of Cinderella, so, yay, season 7 is done, and that's it, so we never to see alternate Cinderella. But I liked Andrew J. West. I like Lana Priya. I like Colin O'Donoghue, but granted he's playing the wrong Hook, but he's still a good job as Hook version 2, or version 1.5. So, it's a bummer, because, you get attached to just watching these characters, and you like these actors. They're really active on social media. They're really fun to talk to. And now it's over in that sense. And also, as a big fan of the show like myself, and I know all of you guys are big fans, but, I make all these YouTube videos about the show. And so I'm thinking, what am I going to do now? So it is affecting me in a very big way. And it is a bummer. I mean, think about it. I have made videos about the trailers, about the sneak peeks, the news. I stay active with it at Comic-Con. I really liked Once. I'm very attached to it, and to have it get canceled is upsetting to me. Now, I have a feeling it'll go out with a bang. They said they had 2, different versions of an ending, and this one is going to be closed book. So now their book 2 will be shut very fast. And hopefully it'll end up being a happy ending for everyone involved. It's just such a bummer for Rebecca Mader in particular, because, she didn't know if she was coming back for season 7. They essentially told her, no, you're fired. And then, later on throughout season 7's run, they're looking at the ratings and they're like, oh crap. And we need someone to help us get the ratings back up. And granted, it didn't really work super well, but I think it did generate more conversation on the internet with having Rebecca Mader come back. And now I think she's in a guest starring capacity until season 7 is done. But, she loves this show. She's made many posts about it. And then, for her, she's like, oh crap, I got to look for work again. And I just think that's such a huge, that's a bummer for her. I mean, Lana Priya got her first acting gig from this, which is good. So she has more for her resume. I think Lana should stay in house at Disney, hopefully going to Marvel or Star Wars particularly. I think she would work really well in what phase is the Marvel in? I think it's in going into 4. So I think after the Infinity Wars is done and they start their new phase, which I guess would be 5, Lana could do something with that. Quite frankly, I think Colin O'Donoghue, Lana Priya, and Rebecca Mader all should stay in-house at Disney and get to work in some of the bigger movies, even the live-action fairy tales. And that's another thing. Disney is making more live-action fairy tales. They're making Aladdin, which we saw some concept art for, or I think we saw the title of it. They're making Aladdin. They're making Little Mermaid. They made Beauty and the Beast. They made Cinderella. Mulan is coming out for live action. So, the live-action fairy tales make a lot more money for the Disney company. The ABC shows don't make as much. So at the same time, I mean, I don't know how much Channing Dunning talks to John Lasseter. Well, John Lasseter's gone. Bob Iger. I don't know how much Channing Dunning talks to Bob Iger, but there must have been a thing where like we really can't have two live action fairy tales competing against each other, and in house it's still friendly fire, like with the animation section with having Pixar versus Disney, even though it's still the same thing. It's essentially friendly fire. Which one makes them more? Pixar generally does. If you look at the releases of the most, if you look at the releases for the most recent Pixar versus Disney movies, minus Frozen, most of the Pixar films recently have done better domestically and internationally, and obviously combined, than just the Disney movies. Solo, which is really weird. Like I said, beyond Frozen. Like I think Finding Dory has made $1 billion. Toy Story 3 made $1 billion. Obviously Frozen made $1 billion. Zootopia made $1 billion. But this isn't about that. But point is, like, there's friendly fire. But like the animation division, like you're gonna make a lot of money. With the television division, it's kind of like who's gonna watch. And then when it comes to who's gonna watch, they moved it to Fridays, which we talked about was a huge mistake, and essentially was the death slot. And lo and behold, the show got death. It got the death sentence, and now it's gonna die. It's got its execution date, to keep the analogy real. And so that's what's gonna happen. The show's gonna end in May. It comes back March 2nd. Like I said, I'll still be making all the content for it. I have to think of what I want to do, particularly for making more videos. I was gonna cover Game of Thrones, but that's not until August 2019, so that's a whiles off. But I'm not going to stop making content. I'll try to do more video reviews of movies. Tell me what you guys want in the comments below. You left me some things to make in my last video, which was awesome. I really appreciate that. But, what else, what other content you would like from me? Because I love making these videos. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's a great hobby. But with the television series, television year, this year, I've lost two of my favorite shows, which is Scandal and Once Upon a Time, and I'm really bummed out by that. So, once it's over, still more content to come from me until May, and then I'll work on the rejuvenation of the channel. But I do wonder what's going to be going on with the people behind the scenes and on camera with Once Upon a Time, because I do really feel that the 4 actors I mentioned, or 3 actors I mentioned, and then Andrew J. West and Robert Carlyle also have they need to keep working. Obviously, we want them to work. I think this show has given them quite the fan base, and I really hope they can stay in-house at Disney and do more projects, hopefully in the movie division. I think Lana will one day get that Oscar. She might be a little older. She's 40 now, but I hope she gets that Oscar. I think she's well-deserved. So anyway, how do you guys feel about Once Upon a Time getting canceled? Are you angry? Are you sad? Did you see it coming? I mean, quite frankly, I saw the writing on the wall when I kept noticing all the rigorous mistakes, I'm going to call them. I'll use quotes around the word mistakes with season 7. I'm not saying I was right, because, again, I wanted it to go on. I wanted a season 8. I don't know if I really want a 9. I probably would have. But, my critiques of it, which made people call me negative, were only critiques because it shows that people might not want to watch it. And I guess Channing Downing saw that and was like, there's a lot of mistakes going on here. Maybe it's best to remove it. But then again, why would you move the show to Fridays if you weren't going to cancel it anyway? So maybe in the back of my mind, she always was like, it's done anyway, but I'm just not going to tell anyone until, February 6th, she canceled the show. Or at least announced it. So, it's a bummer. I am sad by it. I am saddened. But life will go on. It's just, regrettably, it is just TV. Fortunately, I should say. Fortunately, it is just TV. And there's still more to do. But we will have a fun time covering Season 7 as it goes through. I'll do all the videos, like I said. And if any interesting news stories comes up, which I'm assuming more interesting stuff is going to appear, because when a show is in your final season, you generally do a lot to make it very impressive with its ending. And so now they have to do a lot. So hopefully, I believe Lana's episode was 17 or 19. Really no need to correct me. I know the title was chosen. But whatever episode it is, they already have that written and filmed. So they're going to have to work extra hard to make the last 3 or the last 5 episodes really, really good. And really a bang, and bringing back new characters, or even doing alternate versions of an iconic character. Like if they give the audience an alternate Elsa, or an alternate Snow Queen, I think that would be a big success. If they give the audience Moana, though I doubt they can pull Moana up. I really feel they can pull up the Snow Queen because of Elsa. Moana is more or less I don't know if Moana is actually based on a Disney original. Moana is an original character, but I don't know if she's based off of like a fairy tale. Like I don't know the history of Moana, but point being is I don't think they can get Moana, but I think they can do a possible version 2 of Elsa. They probably don't want to deal with the animation heads, especially since the animation department at Disney's in a disarray with John Lasseter being gone. They probably don't want to deal with that, but they could do an alternate Ariel. They could do an alternate Jasmine. It's like, just bring back everyone who people love. Bring back your Disney princesses. Princesses, hype it up. And Wreck-It Ralph 2 is going to have its own little segment with the Disney princesses, so I would advise that. So anyway, share your thoughts about this news in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning into the video, and more content to come. Hopefully we will get some news for once very soon. The Oscars are in March this year, which is actually when Once Upon a Time airs, so we're not even going to get a season 7 Oscar trailer for 7B, which is crazy because for years they've been doing Oscar trailers for Once, and not the case anymore. Obviously they did it because it would air on the same network. You know, ABC hosts the ABC airs the Oscars, and Once is an ABC property. Made a lot of sense to air it, but that's not the case anymore, which is also a bummer. So anyway, guys, share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening to this very long video, and we will talk really soon. All right, guys. Bye.